Mysterious disappearances often revolve around deep waters, tranquil lakes, or winding rivers that seem to lead to another world. Sometimes it's the rugged, towering rock formations that hide inexplicable secrets, becoming the last place a person is seen. And then, all traces vanish into thin air, leaving no sign, turning search efforts into a hopeless endeavor. What makes these cases even more chilling is that the victims don't follow any common pattern. They can be frail, disabled individuals, or intelligent, physically strong, and energetic people. No one can predict who the next victim will be, creating a thick fog of mystery where all assumptions become meaningless. But the story doesn't end there. Those who are found after going missing often have no memory of what happened. Their time in disappearance is erased from their minds, leaving haunting voids. This amnesia not only hampers investigations, but also makes their stories eerily unbelievable. Even more unsettling are the strange tales from children after they are found. They speak of wild creatures like wolves or bears that protected and cared for them during their time missing. As fantastical as these stories may sound, when such accounts repeat with striking similarities, one can't help but wonder if there's something more mysterious at play, beyond our ordinary understanding. And when victims are discovered deceased, what sends chills down one's spine is the location of the body. These places are often extremely difficult to reach, seemingly beyond human capability. Even more bizarrely, some bodies are found in areas that search teams had already thoroughly combed multiple times, yet no prior trace had been seen. Is there an invisible force at work, or are there hidden corners of nature that we have yet to uncover? These questions linger, leaving an endless sense of unease. In a modern world where technology and science have made great strides, we are still fascinated by unsolved mysteries. One of these mysterious phenomena is the strange disappearance of thousands of people around the world, especially in wilderness areas where nature seems to hide its secrets. These disappearances are not simply ordinary accidents or adventures lost in the deep woods. They contain mysterious elements, strange stories that seem to be beyond human explanation. The disappearances in national parks in the United States have become the subject of many discussions, controversies, and studies over the years. What is more special, when researcher David Paulides, a former police officer, published the book series Missing 411, these mysteries became even more prominent. Paulides investigates more than just the disappearances. He uncovers the oddities, the implausible details, and the puzzling connections between them. It all began when Paulides, while on vacation at a national park, was approached by two off-duty park rangers who asked him to investigate the number of unexplained disappearances in the national park system. What's more frightening is that both rangers were wary of going public and feared retaliation if they revealed their identities or where they worked. Why would a national park system that millions of people visit each year be hiding such unexplained disappearances? And why are the people who work there so afraid to speak out? This is where Paulides' story begins, and what he discovers raises a host of questions about safety in national parks and mysteries that we may never know. The birth of Missing 411. David Paulides is not your average researcher. Before becoming an author and independent investigator, he was a police officer for many years, with extensive experience in criminal investigations. With his knowledge and skills, Paulides quickly discovered that something unusual was happening in America's national parks. After being approached by two concerned park rangers, Paulides began to delve deeper into the disappearances in the national park system. The first thing he realized was that there was little, if any, official information about the number of people who went missing in national parks. This was odd, since national parks are federally managed areas with rangers, security guards, and other security measures. Why wasn't there an official list of missing people? When Paulides requested information through the Freedom of Information Act, FOIA, he was met with resistance from the National Park Service. Instead of providing the information, he was asked to pay a hefty fee, $1.4 million for a nationwide missing persons list, or $34,000 for Yosemite National Park alone. This left Paulides wondering, why was it so hard to get information? Was the government trying to hide something? efforts led to the publication of the Missing 411 series of books, in which he detailed strange disappearances in national parks, not only in the United States but around the world. The books captured the attention of everyone from researchers to journalists to the general public, and sparked a wave of interest in the phenomenon. But Paulides didn't stop at documenting the disappearances. He also developed criteria and theories to classify and explain this phenomenon. During his investigation, Paulides developed a set of criteria to identify disappearances that he believed could not be explained in conventional ways. These were not cases of simple wandering or accidents in the woods. These disappearances contained elements that Paulides believed were beyond the ability of authorities or modern science to explain. Some of the key criteria Paulides identified included explainable circumstances. Paulides and his team ruled out disappearances if there was clear evidence of animal attacks, mental health issues, suicidal intent, or other factors such as crime or drowning. Location of disappearance. Missing people were often near large bodies of water, lakes, rivers, seas, or large, rugged, rocky areas. This made searching difficult and tracks easily erased. Victim profile. Missing people tend to fall on both ends of the intellectual and physical spectrum. They can be people with low or high intelligence, people with disabilities, or people who are healthy and active. There is no common pattern among the victims, which adds to the mystery of this phenomenon. Amnesia. People who are found after going missing often have no memory of what happened. They cannot remember where they were or what they were doing during the time they went missing. This not only makes the investigation difficult, but also makes their stories strange and unbelievable. Strange stories from children. Some children who are found after going missing often tell unbelievable stories. For example, some children say they were cared for by a wolf or protected by a bear during their time of disappearance. These stories, while seemingly strange, have many similarities between cases, raising questions about their authenticity. Where the body was found. In many cases, if the victim is found dead, their body is often in an odd location that is difficult to reach on foot or beyond their ability to reach. Some bodies are even found in areas that have been thoroughly searched multiple times but have not been found before. These criteria are not only signs that the disappearances go beyond what we can explain, but also highlight the complexity and mystery of these cases. Paulides believes that there is something beyond common logic and human understanding that governs these disappearances. The mystery of missing children. Among the disappearances Paulides has investigated, one of the most haunting is the case of missing children. There is a particular strangeness and fear in the fact that children, often very young, disappear without a trace in the wild. This not only leaves parents bewildered, but also raises deep-seated fears about the safety of children in wild environments. One of the most prominent cases is the story of Jared, a 3-year-old boy who disappeared while hiking with a group of adults on the Big South Trail in Colorado. This is one of the strangest disappearances Paulides has investigated, and it has all the elements of mystery that he describes in his books. Jared and his sister went on a trip with a group of adults known to the boy's family. Initially, they had planned to visit a fish farm near the family resort, but the group decided to go further and into the mountains. It is worth noting that Jared was too young and had never been away from his father before. However, because of the adults' persuasion and the belief that they would take good care of the 2 children, Jared's father agreed to let them go on the trip. During the trip, Jared quickly became separated from the group of hikers and disappeared without anyone noticing. Despite a large-scale search involving rescue teams and sniffer dogs, Jared was not found for many years. Strangely, his belongings, including his clothes and shoes, were later found in an area far above the ground and far from the trail he had gone missing. In addition, the items appeared to be in good condition, with no signs of weather or natural damage. Jared's story is not only a personal tragedy, but also a clear example of the mystery that surrounds the disappearances of children in national parks. Questions such as how a 3-year-old could have traveled so far, why his belongings were still intact, and what happened during the time he was missing remain unanswered. During his research on missing persons cases, Paulides discovered something remarkable. Many cases share strange similarities, even though they occurred in different locations and at different times. This led to the hypothesis that there might be a common factor or pattern related to these incidents. One of the most common similarities is the sudden disappearance right in front of others. In many cases, the victim only stepped away from the group for a few minutes or even seconds, and then they would vanish completely. This has happened multiple times to both children and adults, leaving many to wonder, how could they disappear so suddenly without leaving any trace? Additionally, some victims were found in very strange conditions. For example, some who disappeared in mountainous areas were discovered in such high and remote places that it seemed impossible could have gotten there on their own. Moreover, there were instances where people were found wearing their clothes inside out or backward, and some could not remember what had happened during their time of disappearance. This has made it extremely difficult for investigators to come up with a logical explanation for what occurred. Many of these cases are considered mysteries, cannot be solved in conventional ways, leading to various theories, ranging from supernatural forces to unexplained natural phenomena. Further discovery and investigation. As Paulides delved deeper into the investigations, he found that these disappearances were not limited to the United States, but occurred in many other places around the world. From the dense forests of South America to the rugged mountains of Asia, mysterious disappearances seem to be a global phenomenon. This raises a significant question. Could there be a common factor linking these disappearances across the globe? Paulides also noted that the disappearances often took place in areas with a history of supernatural occurrences or mysterious folklore. For example, many areas where victims went missing were associated with stories of Bigfoot, UFOs, or other supernatural beings. This only adds to the mystery and confusion surrounding the phenomenon. The results of these investigations led Paulides to propose various theories about the cause of the disappearances. Some believe that there might be a supernatural force at work in these areas. Others speculate that the victims may have entered another dimension or been drawn into a parallel universe. Regardless of the theory, the fact remains that these disappearances are still unresolved. Questions persist, and the mysteries remain unsolved. What we do know is that these cases have sparked widespread concern and raised significant questions about what is really happening in the wilderness of the world. This introduction lays the foundation for a deeper exploration of the mysterious disappearances that Paulides has researched. The following section will focus on specific stories and the theories put forth to explain what happened to these victims. Strange disappearance stories and supernatural theories. In the previous section, we introduced the birth of missing 411 and the mysterious elements surrounding the disappearances in national parks. These disappearances, although recorded, still lack a satisfactory explanation. In this next section, we will delve into specific stories, cases that have puzzled even the most experienced investigators. Each story shares certain similarities, yet also possesses unique elements that add to their distinctive mystery. The story of Jared Atadero, Colorado, USA, 1999. One of the most prominent stories in the Missing 411 series is the disappearance of Jared Atadero, 3-year-old boy. This story is not only a personal tragedy, but also one of the prime examples of the mystery and inexplicability of disappearances in national parks. Event background. In October 1999, Jared Atadero, his sister Jocelyn, and a group of adults embarked on a hiking trip along the Big South Trail in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. This is a rugged and wild mountainous area, but the adults assured Jared's father that the trip would be safe and that they would take good care of the boy. Notably, Jared's father, Alan, was initially reluctant to let his son go so far without his supervision. However, due to his trust in the group of friends, he agreed. Initially, everything went smoothly. The group split into 2 smaller groups, with one group going ahead and the other following behind. Jared started in the trailing group, but with the curiosity and eagerness of a child, quickly surged ahead to catch up with the first group. This led to Jared becoming separated from both groups, and soon, no one was keeping an eye on him. The disappearance. Unfortunately, no one in the group noticed Jared's disappearance until both groups reunited and realized that no one knew where the boy was. The adults in the group began searching the surrounding area but found no trace of Jared. They initially thought he might be hiding nearby, but as the search dragged on without results, they decided to return and notify Alan. The search. A large-scale search was immediately launched, involving rescue teams, search dogs, and helicopters. Despite their relentless efforts, no substantial results were found. Although there were a few minor clues, such as the scent of Jared detected by the search dogs in certain mountainous areas, no concrete evidence led to the discovery of the boy. This introduction lays the foundation for a deeper exploration of the mysterious disappearances that Paulides has researched. The following section will focus on specific stories and the theories put forth to explain what happened to these victims. Strange disappearance stories and supernatural theories. In the previous section, we introduced the birth of missing 411 and the mysterious elements surrounding the disappearances in national parks. These disappearances, although recorded, still lack a satisfactory explanation. In this next section, we will delve into specific stories, cases that have puzzled even the most experienced investigators. Each story shares certain similarities, yet also possesses unique elements that add to their distinctive mystery. The story of Jared Atadero, Colorado, USA, 1999. One of the most prominent stories in the Missing 411 series is the disappearance of Jared Atadero, 3-year-old boy. This story is not only a personal tragedy, but also one of the prime examples of the mystery and inexplicability of disappearances in national parks. Event background. In October 1999, Jared Atadero, his sister Jocelyn, and a group of adults embarked on a hiking trip along the Big South Trail in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. This is a rugged and wild mountainous area, but the adults assured Jared's father that the trip would be safe and that they would take good care of the boy. Notably, Jared's father, Alan, was initially reluctant to let his son go so far without his supervision. However, due to his trust in the group of friends, he agreed. Initially, everything went smoothly. The group split into 2 smaller groups, with one group going ahead and the other following behind. Jared started in the trailing group, but with the curiosity and eagerness of a child, quickly surged ahead to catch up with the first group. This led to Jared becoming separated from both groups, and soon, no one was keeping an eye on him. The disappearance. Unfortunately, no one in the group noticed Jared's disappearance until both groups reunited and realized that no one knew where the boy was. The adults in the group began searching the surrounding area but found no trace of Jared. They initially thought he might be hiding nearby, but as the search dragged on without results, they decided to return and notify Alan. The search. A large-scale search was immediately launched, involving rescue teams, search dogs, and helicopters. Despite their relentless efforts, no substantial results were found. Although there were a few minor clues, such as the scent of Jared detected by the search dogs in certain mountainous areas, no concrete evidence led to the discovery of the boy. Whatever happened, the truth is that Stephen Kubaki's disappearance and return remain one of the most mysterious stories in the history of strange disappearances. His story is not just an isolated case, but also raises many questions about the possible existence of phenomena beyond human understanding. In addition to the well-known stories of Jared Atadero, Dennis Martin, and Stephen Kubaki, there are many other disappearances worldwide. David Paulides has documented and investigated. Each case has its own peculiarities, but they all share one common factor: no reasonable explanation. The story of Carl Herbert Landers, Mount Shasta, California, 1999. Carl Herbert Landers was a 69-year-old man, extensive experience in mountain climbing, and had participated in many marathons. However, in May 1999, while climbing Mount Shasta with 2 friends, Carl vanished without a trace. Carl left his group of friends in the morning to go ahead, but when his friends arrived at the meeting point where they planned to reunite, Carl did not show up. A large-scale search was organized, involving helicopters, search dogs, and hundreds of participants. However, no trace of Carl was ever found, and his case remains a mystery. Some theories suggest that Carl may have fallen into a ravine or gotten lost in the thick fog. However, no trace of him was ever found, raising questions about whether he might have been pulled into another dimension or abducted by some supernatural elements. Many disappearances in national parks and wilderness areas are associated with supernatural phenomena, ranging from UFOs and Bigfoot to other mysterious creatures. Stories of strange beings, mysterious lights, and unexplainable events have appeared in many of these cases, adding to their mystery. For example, there have been reports of sightings of human-like creatures with enormous sizes, moving quickly through mountainous regions. Some people believe that these beings could be responsible for the disappearances, but no concrete evidence has been found to support this theory. Space-time theories and portals. One of the boldest theories regarding mysterious disappearances is the possible existence of space-time portals or altered space-time phenomena. Some believe that the victims may have stepped into another dimension or been swept into an unexplainable space-time anomaly. This theory is supported by cases where victims were found in very distant or hard-to-reach locations, with no evidence showing how they could have gotten there on their own. This raises questions about the possible existence of space-time portals or natural phenomena that science has yet to discover. This section has delved into specific stories and theories related to mysterious disappearances in national parks and wilderness areas. These stories are not just personal tragedies, but also pieces of a larger puzzle about phenomena that go beyond human understanding. The next section, mysterious disappearance stories around the world and the complexity of investigation. In the previous two sections, we explored mysterious disappearances in the U.S. and stories related to national parks. However, these strange events are not limited to the U.S. Across the world, countless disappearances share similar eerie elements. Dense forests, rugged mountains, and even large cities have witnessed incidents that modern science has yet to adequately explain. In this section, we will continue with cases that occurred in other parts of the world and examine the complexities involved in investigating these phenomena. The disappearance of Jim Thompson, Cameron Highlands, Malaysia, 1967. Jim Thompson, known as the Thai Silk King, was an American businessman renowned for revitalizing Thailand's silk industry after World War II. However, his career was abruptly cut short when he mysteriously disappeared in 1967 during a vacation in the Cameron Highlands of Malaysia. Event background. On March 26, 1967, Jim Thompson arrived at the Cameron Highlands, famous resort in Malaysia, with some friends. The area is known for its stunning natural scenery, cool climate, and vast tea plantations. Jim decided to take a walk alone in the forest, something he had often done on previous trips. But this time, he never returned. The search. As soon as Jim Thompson failed to return, his friends notified the police. A large-scale search was launched, involving the military, police, and local residents. They scoured the dense forests, valleys, and surrounding hills, but no trace of Jim Thompson was found. His disappearance became even more puzzling as there were no signs indicating he had met with an accident or been attacked. The search lasted for weeks but yielded no results. Jim Thompson's story became one of Southeast Asia's greatest mysteries. Theories about his disappearance began to emerge, ranging from getting lost in the forest, being kidnapped, to deliberately vanishing to start a new life. Theories. Some believe that Jim Thompson may have been kidnapped by mysterious groups or attacked by wild animals. However, there is no evidence to support these theories. Others suggest that he may have intentionally disappeared to escape the pressures of work and personal life. A stranger theory posits that Jim Thompson may have been drawn into some supernatural phenomenon, possibly a space-time portal or a parallel dimension. Disappearances in dense forests are often linked to folklore and legends of mystical occurrences, and Jim Thompson's case is no exception. Regardless of which theory is correct, the fact remains that Jim Thompson vanished without a trace, and his disappearance remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries. The story of Owen Parfett, Somerset, England, 1768. The case of Owen Parfett is one of the most mysterious and strange disappearances in British history. His vanishing is not only a mystery to his family, but has also become a folk tale passed down through the community. Event background. Owen Parfett was an elderly man who was paralyzed and lived with his sister Mary in the small village of Shepton Mallet, Somerset. Owen could not move on his own without assistance. On a June afternoon in 1768, Mary and a neighbor helped Owen outside onto the porch to enjoy the sun. Afterward, Mary returned to the house to do some chores, while the neighbor went back to their own home. A few hours later, when Mary returned to bring Owen back inside, she found that he had disappeared. His coat was still on the chair, but Owen was nowhere to be seen. Strangely, no one in the village saw anything, even though Owen's porch was on the main road where many people passed by. The search. Immediately, the villagers organized a search around the area, but there was no trace of Owen Parfett. The police also joined the search, combing every corner of the village and nearby areas, but to no avail. The disappearance of Owen became even more perplexing given that he was someone who could not walk on his own. So how could he vanish without anyone noticing? Theories. Many theories have been proposed regarding Owen Parfett's disappearance. Some believe that he may have been kidnapped by a group of people or murdered for unknown reasons. However, there is no evidence to support these theories. More bizarre theories suggest that Owen may have been caught up in a supernatural event or abducted by an invisible force. Folktales about supernatural occurrences and mysterious beings often arise in rural areas like Shepton Mallet, and Owen Parfett's case is no exception. Whatever the reason, Owen Parfett's disappearance remains an unsolved mystery and has become a part of English folklore. The disappearance of Marco Aurelio Simon, Brazil, 1985. Another shocking and mysterious disappearance is that of Marco Aurelio Simon, 15-year-old Boy Scout in Brazil. This case not only caused a stir in Brazil, but also attracted international media attention. Event background. In June 1985, Marco Aurelio Simon and his scouting group went to the Picos Marins Mountains in Brazil for a camping and hiking trip. This was one of the trips the scouting group had been planning for a long time, and Marco was excited to participate. However, during the hike, one member of the group got injured and they had to return to camp. Marco, full of enthusiasm and a sense of responsibility, volunteered to go ahead and call for help. After some discussion, the group's guide agreed to let Marco go ahead. The disappearance. Marco started ahead of the group. After that, no one saw him again. When the group returned to camp, Marco was nowhere to be found. Strangely, Marco's personal belongings were discovered outside his tent, but there was no trace of where the boy had gone. The search. A large-scale search was organized, involving hundreds of soldiers, police officers, and rescue workers. They scoured the surrounding mountains and forests, but no trace of Marco was found. The search lasted for 28 days, but ultimately had to be called off with no results. Theories. Marco Aurelio Simon's disappearance has sparked various theories, ranging from him getting lost in the forest, suffering an accident, to being abducted by some supernatural force. Some even believe that Marco may have been kidnapped by aliens or swept into another dimension. The truth is that Marco's disappearance remains one of the greatest mysteries in Brazil's history, and there is no evidence to explain what happened to him. Other strange disappearance stories. In addition to the stories mentioned above, there are many other mysterious disappearances that have occurred around the world. These incidents not only ignite fear, also raise profound questions about safety and phenomena beyond human understanding. The disappearance of Lillian Carney, Maine, USA, 1897. Lillian Carney, a 6-year-old girl, disappeared while berry picking with her family in Maine, USA. A large-scale search was conducted, and she was found after being missing for 46 hours. When asked about what happened, Lillian said a strange thing. "The sun shone all the time I was in the woods." This was puzzling because during her disappearance, the weather was reported as cloudy and partly gloomy. Investigators couldn't explain this phenomenon, and Lillian's story has remained an unsolved mystery. The disappearance of John Doe, Mount Shasta, California, 2010. John Doe, a 3-year-old boy, disappeared while camping with his family at Mount Shasta, California. After hours of searching, John was found sitting in a bush, silent and appearing confused. The next day, when asked what had happened, John recounted that he had been taken into a cave underground where he met a woman who looked like his grandmother, but whom he realized was not the real one. The boy claimed that this woman was a robot and had tried to force him to do strange things. John's story not only baffled people, but also led many to question the existence of supernatural phenomena, or extraterrestrial beings. The complexity of investigations. Investigating mysterious disappearances is no simple task. Not only do these incidents often occur in wild and inaccessible areas, but they also involve strange and unexplainable elements. Rescue teams and police frequently encounter obstacles, not only from nature, but also from inexplicable phenomena. Challenges in gathering evidence. One of the biggest challenges in investigating these disappearances is the lack of evidence. In many cases, no traces are left behind. No clothing, no footprints, no clues indicating where the victim went. This makes the investigation process extremely difficult and often leads to dead ends. Inconsistencies across cases. Although there are similarities among the disappearances, each case has unique elements, making it difficult to identify a specific pattern. Some victims are found, while others are not. Some are found in completely normal conditions but with no memory of what happened, while others are found dead under strange circumstances. Theories about supernatural phenomena. Due to the lack of logical explanations, many people have turned to supernatural theories to try to explain these disappearances. Theories about UFOs, Bigfoot, or altered space-time phenomena have become popular among those interested in these events. However, to date, no concrete evidence has been found to support these theories. This section has further discussed mysterious disappearances worldwide and the challenges in investigating them. These stories are not just isolated incidents. They are interconnected through strange elements and phenomena that go beyond human understanding. The next section will continue exploring the hypotheses and theories proposed to explain what happened to these victims, as well as their impact on society and culture. Theories and supernatural elements in mysterious disappearances. In the previous 3 sections, we explored stories of strange disappearances, from well-known cases in the U.S. to mysterious incidents around the world. These disappearances have not only sparked fear and unease, but have also opened up numerous theories about supernatural phenomena, mysterious creatures, and possibilities yet to be explained by science. In this section, we will continue to explore the theories proposed to explain these mysterious disappearances and delve deeper into the supernatural elements that may be related to them. The alien intervention hypothesis. One of the most popular theories regarding mysterious disappearances is the intervention of extraterrestrials. The idea that beings from other planets might be abducting humans has long existed in popular culture, from folklore to science fiction films. However, in the case of the disappearances documented by David Paulides in the Missing 411 series, this hypothesis has some support from witness reports and strange events that occurred before or after the victims vanished. Disappearances. Near areas with UFO activity. Many disappearances occur in areas known for UFO, unidentified flying object sightings. For example, the Mount Shasta area in California, where Carl Herbert Landers vanished, has had numerous reports of UFO sightings and other strange phenomena. Some believe that the victims may have been abducted by extraterrestrials and taken aboard their ships. Evidence from witnesses. Several witnesses in disappearance cases have reported seeing strange lights in the sky or unidentified objects flying over the area where the victim vanished. In some instances, witnesses have even claimed to have seen unusually shaped beings or experienced strange events that they couldn't explain. Conspiracy theories about government cover-ups. Some people believe that governments, particularly the U.S. government, may be aware of the existence of extraterrestrials and are intentionally covering up the truth. These theories suggest that the disappearances could be related to alien experiments or even a secret collaboration between the government and extraterrestrial beings. Although these theories remain unproven, they continue to captivate those who believe in UFO phenomena and other conspiracy theories. Mysterious creatures and their connection to disappearances. Apart from the alien hypothesis, there are many other theories involving mysterious creatures and supernatural phenomena. From Bigfoot to legendary beings, many believe that these creatures might be connected to mysterious disappearance. Bigfoot and similar creatures. Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch, is a legendary creature that appears in many Native American legends. Many people believe that Bigfoot is a giant, human-like creature covered in thick fur that lives in seclusion in deep forests. In some disappearance cases, witnesses have reported seeing a large, human-like creature near the area where the victim vanished. This has led to the theory that Bigfoot, or a similar creature, might be responsible for these disappearances. For example, the disappearance of Dennis Martin in Great Smoky Mountains National Park in 1969 is a famous case linked to Bigfoot. A nearby camping family reported seeing a large, human-like creature moving through the mountains, carrying something that resembled a child. However, no concrete evidence has been found to support this theory, and the creature they saw remains a mystery. Other supernatural creatures, beyond Bigfoot, there are many stories of other supernatural creatures that could be connected to disappearances. For instance, in some Native American folklore, there are tales of mysterious beings like the Wendigo, a man-eating monster, or the Skinwalker, creature capable of shape-shifting into different animals. These legends are often tied to remote and wild areas, same places where many disappearances occur. Whether these creatures are mere products of imagination or exist in reality, they play a significant role in the theories surrounding mysterious disappearances. The stories of these beings have persisted for generations and continue to haunt those living near these areas. Space-time phenomena and portals. One of the boldest theories related to mysterious disappearances is the possibility of space-time anomalies and portals. This theory suggests that victims may have accidentally stepped into another dimension or been swept into an inexplicable space-time rift. Time loss phenomena. In some disappearance cases, victims are found after being missing for a long time but have no memory of what happened. This leads to the theory that they may have experienced a space-time anomaly, where time and space were mysteriously distorted. For example, the case of Stephen Kubacki, who disappeared for 15 months and returned with no memory of the missing period, is a prime example supporting this theory. Space portals. Some believe that space portals leading to other dimensions might exist. These portals could be accidentally activated, and the victims may have been swept into another space from which they cannot return. This theory is supported by cases where victims are found in very distant or hard-to-reach locations, with no traces indicating they arrived there on their own. Mysterious triangle areas. The theory of space portals is often associated with mysterious triangle areas, such as the Bermuda Triangle, where numerous ship and airplane disappearances have been recorded. Similarly, the Lake Michigan area, where Stephen Kubacki disappeared, is considered one of these mysterious triangles, with many unsolved disappearances. These areas are often regarded as hotspots for space-time anomalies and other supernatural phenomena. Although the theories about space portals and space-time anomalies are difficult to believe and remain unproven, they continue to capture the attention of many and are one of the possible explanations for disappearances that cannot be explained by conventional means. Psychology and human factor. While many theories about mysterious disappearances involve supernatural elements, some researchers focus on psychological and human factors to explain these phenomena. These factors include the psychological and biological responses of humans when faced with dangerous or highly stressful situations. Disorientation phenomenon. One psychological factor that could explain disappearances is disorientation. When people face extreme stress or become lost in the wilderness, their brains can become confused, preventing them from making rational decisions. This can lead them to stray far from their original location and be unable to find their way back. Extreme survival responses. In some cases, victims may experience extreme survival responses, such as panic or shock, to prevent them from acting normally. For example, some victims have been found unclothed or wearing their clothes inside out, which could be the result of losing psychological control and acting unconsciously. Memory loss. Some victims, after being found, have no memory of what happened during the time they were missing. This could be related to memory loss due to psychological trauma or other biological factors. Their brains may have protected themselves by erasing memories associated with the stressful event. Environmental factors. Additionally, natural environments can play a significant role in disappearances. Dense forests, rugged mountains, and other wild areas often contain many dangers, such as wild animals, harsh weather, and other natural hazards that can cause fatal accidents. However, in many cases, there is no concrete evidence showing that the victims encountered an accident or were attacked by animals, making the environmental factors hypothesis less convincing. The influence of pop culture and the spread of theories. Pop culture plays a significant role in spreading theories about mysterious disappearances and supernatural elements. From movies, books, to TV shows, stories about aliens, Bigfoot, and other supernatural phenomena have become part of popular culture, attracting the interest of many people. Movies and television. Films and TV shows like The X-Files, Stranger Things, and Ancient Aliens have contributed to the creation and reinforcement of theories about mysterious disappearances. Fictional stories about aliens, space portals, and other supernatural phenomena have become part of public imagination and driven interest in unexplained phenomena. Impact of social media. With the rise of social media, stories of mysterious disappearances and supernatural theories have spread rapidly on platforms like YouTube, Facebook, and Reddit. These online forums allow people to share and discuss theories, creating a community of people interested in and believing in supernatural phenomena. The influence of folklore. Folklore and legends also play an important role in spreading theories about disappearances. Stories of Bigfoot, Wendigo, and other mythical creatures have persisted through generations and continue to influence how people view mysterious phenomena. These stories are not only part of cultural heritage, but also a source of inspiration for modern theories. This section has analyzed the theories related to mysterious disappearances, from aliens, mythical creatures, to space-time phenomena and psychological factors. These theories reflect human curiosity and imagination, highlighting the complexity and multi-dimensional nature of unsolved disappearances. The next section will continue to explore the impact of these disappearances on society, as well as the lessons we can learn from these mysterious phenomena. The impact of mysterious disappearances on society and the lessons learned. In the previous sections, we explored stories of mysterious disappearances, analyzed the theories surrounding them, and examined how they have become part of popular culture. However, these disappearances are not just intriguing stories. They also leave profound impacts on society, particularly on families who have lost loved ones and the affected communities. In this section, we will focus on the impact of these disappearances on society, how those involved cope with the loss, and the important lessons we can draw from these phenomena. Impact on families and communities. When a person goes missing, it doesn't just affect the individual, but also sends shockwaves through their family, friends, and community. Mysterious disappearances often leave an indescribable pain for the loved ones of the victims, and they must confront uncertainty and worry about the fate of the missing person. Suffering and uncertainty. One of the most challenging aspects for families of missing persons is the uncertainty surrounding the fate of their loved one. They do not know whether the missing person is alive or dead, whether they are being held somewhere, or have been drawn into a supernatural phenomenon. This uncertainty makes the pain prolonged and without a clear resolution, creating a state of worry and helplessness that can last for many years, even a lifetime. For example, the disappearance of Jared Atadero left an indelible mark on the lives of his parents. Alan Atadero, Jared's father, spent years relentlessly searching for answers about what happened to his son. Although Jared's clothes and bones were found, no satisfactory explanation for the boy's death was ever provided, leaving the Atadero family to live with pain and uncertainty for many years afterward. Division in the community. Some disappearances also cause divisions within the community, as those living near the area of the disappearance begin to speculate and offer different theories about what happened. These theories can sometimes lead to conflict among community members, with some believing in supernatural elements, while others believe the disappearance may be related to crime or natural factors. This division not only adds to the tension, but also complicates the investigation and search for the truth. The role of police and investigative agencies. Mysterious disappearances pose significant challenges for police and investigative agencies. In many cases, they face a lack of evidence, illogical circumstances, and pressure from families and communities to provide answers. However, investigating these disappearances is often very difficult, and sometimes the police and investigators have to accept that they may never find a resolution. Lack of evidence. One of the biggest challenges for investigative agencies is the lack of evidence. Many disappearances leave behind no traces, no footprints, no clothing, no clues indicating where the victim went or what they encountered. This makes the investigation process extremely difficult, and investigators often have to rely on theories and speculation rather than concrete evidence. Skepticism and pressure from the public. In many cases, families and communities are dissatisfied with how the police handle the disappearances, especially when no results are produced after a long period of investigation. This leads to skepticism and a lack of trust in the legal system. And in some instances, the public begins to believe there is a conspiracy to cover up the truth. For example, in the disappearance of Jared Atadero, the boy's family expressed dissatisfaction with how the police and rescue teams handled the case. They believed that something might be hidden and that the police were not fulfilling their responsibilities in searching for Jared. This skepticism created a rift between the family and the investigative agencies, which not only complicated the investigation, but also caused psychological stress for the victim's family. Limits of forensic science. Mysterious disappearances also highlight the limits of forensic science and human ability to explain phenomena that go beyond ordinary understanding. Despite significant advancements in technology and forensic science, there are still many cases that science cannot explain. This raises questions about the possibility of phenomena that exist beyond the scope of science and reality as we know it. Impact on popular culture and public perception. Mysterious disappearances not only affect families and investigative agencies, also have a strong impact on popular culture and public perception. Stories of disappearances have inspired numerous works of literature, film, and television, while also driving public interest in supernatural phenomena and unexplained events. Impact on literature and film. Many works of literature and film have drawn inspiration from mysterious disappearances. For example, the popular Netflix series Stranger Things was inspired by stories of missing people and supernatural phenomena, particularly the idea of a parallel dimension into which people could be pulled. Such works not only provide entertainment, but also spark discussions about the possibility of supernatural phenomena and events beyond ordinary understanding. Public awareness of supernatural phenomena. Mysterious disappearances have also heightened public interest in supernatural phenomena. Many people have begun to believe in theories about UFOs, Bigfoot, and space-time anomalies, and they seek answers from non-mainstream sources. Online forums, supernatural TV shows, and websites dedicated to UFOs and Bigfoot have become spaces where people can share and discuss these theories. The rise of the truth-seeking movement. Mysterious disappearances have fueled the rise of the truth-seekers movement. People who believe that certain truths are being hidden and that they must search for answers on their own. These individuals often do not trust official explanations and seek alternative solutions, ranging from supernatural theories to conspiracy theories involving government or secret organization intervention. Lessons learned from mysterious disappearances. While mysterious disappearances remain unsolved, they have brought important lessons to society and science. These incidents raise questions not only about safety in wilderness areas, but also about the limits of human understanding and the capacity of science to explain natural phenomena. The importance of protection in education. One of the key lessons from mysterious disappearances is the importance of protecting and educating the public about the dangers of wilderness areas. Many disappearances occur due to a lack of preparation, information, or understanding of the natural hazards present. Raising awareness and educating communities about safety measures when traveling or exploring wild areas can help reduce the risk of similar disappearances in the future. The need for expanded scientific research. Mysterious disappearances also highlight that there is still much about the natural world that we do not fully understand. This calls for an expansion of scientific research, not only in fields like biology and geography, but also in areas such as physics, psychology, and supernatural phenomena. Further investigation into phenomena like space-time anomalies, powerful magnetic fields, and other unexplained occurrences could help us better understand what is happening in these disappearances. The possibility of elements beyond science, mysterious disappearances also raise questions about the existence of elements beyond the scope of science and reality as we know it. While science has made significant advancements, many phenomena remain unexplained. This requires us to maintain an open mind and continue seeking answers to phenomena that go beyond ordinary understanding. This section has analyzed the impact of mysterious disappearances on society, from their effects on families and communities to the role of police and investigative agencies, as well as their influence on popular culture and public perception. These disappearances are not just strange occurrences, but also open up profound discussions about science, culture, and psychology.